Have you ever felt a deep yearning for spiritual growth, only to find yourself confronted with unexpected challenges along the way? Imagine embarking on a journey of spiritual awakening, eager to explore the depths of your consciousness and connect with the divine. You dive headfirst into meditation, yoga, and self-reflection, hoping to find inner peace and enlightenment. But amidst the serenity, you encounter hidden dangers lurking in the shadows, threatening to derail your progress and lead you astray. In our pursuit of spiritual growth, we often fall into the trap of believing that enlightenment equates to purity of thought, word, and deed. We strive to cultivate virtuous qualities and transcend our human limitations, aspiring to embody the divine in every aspect of our being. However, this noble aspiration can morph into a dangerous illusion when taken to extremes. The illusion of spiritual purity leads us to deny or suppress the darker aspects of our nature, the shadow self that harbors our fears, insecurities, and unresolved traumas. We shun aspects of ourselves that we deem unworthy or undesirable, projecting them onto others or relegating them to the depths of our unconscious. By rejecting our shadow, we create a fragmented sense of self, severed from our wholeness and authenticity. We wear masks of righteousness and piety, hiding behind a facade of perfection while concealing our inner turmoil and unresolved wounds. This self-deception prevents us from embracing the totality of our humanity, hindering our growth and evolution as spiritual beings. To overcome the illusion of spiritual purity, we must embrace radical self-acceptance and compassion for all aspects of ourselves, including the shadow. By shining the light of awareness into the darkest corners of our psyche, we reclaim lost fragments of our soul and integrate them into the tapestry of our being. This journey of self-discovery and integration leads to true wholeness and liberation, allowing us to embrace our imperfections as sacred and embrace our humanity with humility and grace. In our quest for spiritual guidance and enlightenment, we often turn to charismatic leaders and self-proclaimed gurus who promise to illuminate the path to transcendence. These individuals wield influence and authority over their followers, offering profound teachings and esoteric practices purported to lead to liberation and enlightenment. However, beneath their veneer of benevolence lies a darker truth, a reality tainted by manipulation, exploitation, and abuse. False gurus prey upon the vulnerability and naivety of seekers, exploiting their longing for spiritual fulfillment and belonging. They employ tactics of psychological manipulation, gaslighting, and coercion to control and subjugate their followers, eroding their autonomy and critical thinking skills. Through subtle indoctrination and mind control techniques, they instill a sense of dependency and obedience, fostering a cult-like environment characterized by blind devotion and unquestioning loyalty. Behind closed doors, the facade of enlightenment crumbles, revealing a landscape marred by abuse, misconduct, and ethical transgressions. False gurus engage in a myriad of harmful behaviors, including sexual exploitation, financial manipulation, and psychological abuse, perpetuating cycles of trauma and suffering among their devotees. To protect ourselves from the dangers of false gurus and spiritual manipulation, we must cultivate discernment and critical thinking skills. We must question authority and scrutinize the teachings and actions of spiritual leaders, refusing to surrender our autonomy and sovereignty to charismatic figures. By empowering ourselves with knowledge and self-awareness, we can navigate the spiritual landscape with clarity and integrity, steering clear of those who seek to exploit and manipulate our vulnerabilities. In our pursuit of spiritual growth and enlightenment, we often become enamored with peak spiritual experiences, transcendent states of consciousness characterized by profound insights, ecstatic bliss, and mystical union. Whether induced through meditation, yoga, psychedelics, or other spiritual practices, these moments of transcendence offer a taste of divine ecstasy and unity with the cosmos. However, the allure of spiritual experiences can become addictive, leading us to chase after fleeting moments of ecstasy in a perpetual quest for transcendence. We become hooked on the rush of euphoria and bliss, seeking to replicate the intensity of our initial experiences through increasingly extreme or unsustainable means. This addiction to spiritual highs can lead to spiritual bypassing, a phenomenon in which we use spiritual practices as a means of avoiding or bypassing our unresolved emotional pain and psychological wounds. Instead of engaging in the messy work of inner healing and shadow integration, we seek refuge in transcendent states of consciousness, hoping to transcend our human limitations and escape the discomfort of our existential angst. However, this avoidance strategy only perpetuates our suffering, preventing us from confronting the root causes of our pain and reclaiming our wholeness. To overcome addiction to spiritual experiences, we must cultivate a balanced approach to our spiritual practice, grounded in self-awareness and discernment. We must recognize that actual spiritual growth involves both peak experiences and mundane moments, ecstasy and ordinariness, transcendence and immanence. By embracing the full spectrum of human experience, we can cultivate a more profound sense of presence and authenticity rooted in the here and now. In our quest for spiritual enlightenment and transcendence, we often fall into the trap of spiritual bypassing, a phenomenon in which we use spiritual beliefs and practices to avoid or bypass our unresolved emotional pain and psychological wounds. Instead of confronting our inner demons and facing the discomfort of our existential angst, we seek refuge in lofty ideals and transcendent experiences, hoping to transcend our human limitations and attain a state of permanent bliss. However, the path of spiritual bypassing ultimately leads to spiritual stagnation and disconnection as we deny or suppress the darker aspects of our nature. The shadow self that harbors our fears, insecurities, and unresolved traumas. By avoiding the messy work of inner healing and shadow integration, we perpetuate cycles of dysfunction and suffering, unable to break free from the grip of our past traumas and conditioning. To overcome spiritual bypassing, we must cultivate radical self-honesty and vulnerability, courageously confronting the shadow aspects of our psyche and embracing the totality of our humanity. We must be willing to dive deep into the depths of our soul, shining the light of awareness into the darkest corners of our consciousness and reclaiming lost fragments of our essence. True healing requires us to embrace the full spectrum of human experience, including the pain, sorrow, and messiness of life. By embracing our vulnerability and humanity, we can transcend the limitations of spiritual bypassing and embark on a journey of profound healing and transformation. In our consumer-driven society, even our spiritual pursuits can become tainted by the allure of materialism and external validation. We become enamored with the trappings of spiritual success, wealth, fame, and status, believing that enlightenment can be measured by the size of our bank account or the number of followers on social media. This phenomenon, known as spiritual materialism, leads us to chase after external symbols of spiritual attainment, seeking validation and recognition from others rather than cultivating inner wisdom and self-awareness. We become obsessed with accumulating spiritual credentials and accolades, attending retreats, workshops, and conferences in search of enlightenment packaged in glossy marketing campaigns. However, the pursuit of spiritual materialism ultimately leads to emptiness and disillusionment as we chase after illusions of happiness and fulfillment that can never be found outside of ourselves. Actual spiritual growth requires us to look within, confront our inner demons, and embrace the messy work of inner transformation, free from the distractions and temptations of external validation. To overcome spiritual materialism, we must cultivate a sense of inner worth and self-validation, recognizing that true enlightenment cannot be bought or sold. We must relinquish our attachment to external symbols of success and focus on cultivating inner virtues such as humility, compassion, and authenticity. By grounding ourselves in the present moment and embracing the richness of inner experience, we can transcend the limitations of spiritual materialism and embark on a journey of true self-discovery and liberation. In the realm of spirituality, we encounter not only external threats but also internal ones, energetic parasites and psychic vampires that feed upon our life force and drain us of vital energy. These entities, whether human or non-human, prey upon our vulnerabilities and insecurities, siphoning off our power for their own nefarious purposes. Psychic attacks can take many forms, including manipulation, gaslighting, and energetic vampirism. They may originate from jealous rivals, toxic relationships, or malevolent entities lurking in the astral realms. Whatever their source, psychic attacks can leave us feeling drained, depleted, and disempowered, as our energetic boundaries are violated and our sovereignty is compromised. To protect ourselves from psychic attacks and energy vampires, we must cultivate energetic hygiene and fortify our energetic boundaries. Practices such as visualization, grounding, and shielding help strengthen our aura and repel negative influences. Additionally, we must cultivate discernment and self-awareness, recognizing the signs of psychic attack and taking appropriate measures to protect ourselves from harm. By reclaiming our power and sovereignty, we can shield ourselves from the insidious influence of psychic attacks and energy vampires, preserving our vital energy for our own spiritual growth and evolution. As we journey through the labyrinth of the spiritual landscape, we encounter myriad challenges and threats that test our resolve and resilience. From the allure of spiritual purity to the dangers of false gurus and psychic attacks, the path of spiritual awakening is fraught with peril and uncertainty. However, armed with knowledge and wisdom, we can navigate these treacherous waters with clarity and discernment, empowering ourselves to transcend the limitations of fear and ignorance. By embracing the full spectrum of human experience and reclaiming our sovereignty as spiritual beings, we can embark on a journey of profound healing and transformation, free from the shackles of illusion and deception. As we draw the curtains on our exploration of the 7 most dangerous spiritual threats, it's essential to reflect on the insights gained and the wisdom imparted. In our journey through the labyrinth of the spiritual landscape, we've encountered myriad challenges and threats, each serving as a crucible for our growth and evolution. From the illusion of spiritual purity to the dangers of false gurus and psychic attacks, we've navigated treacherous waters with courage and resilience, empowered by knowledge and wisdom. We've learned to discern truth from deception, cultivate inner strength and sovereignty, and reclaim our power as spiritual beings. As we continue on our path of spiritual awakening, let us carry with us the lessons learned and the insights gained, using them as guiding lights to illuminate the way forward. Let us embrace the full spectrum of human experience, embracing both the light and the shadow, the ecstasy and the agony, as we journey ever deeper into the heart of the divine. May this exploration serve as a catalyst for profound healing and transformation, empowering you to transcend the limitations of fear and ignorance and awaken to the truth of who you are. Remember, dear seeker, that the path of spiritual awakening is not always easy, but it is always worth it, for in the end, it leads us home to the embrace of the divine. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and discovery. May you walk your path with courage, grace, and an open heart, knowing that you are never alone and that the universe conspires in your favor. Until we meet again on the journey, may you be blessed with peace, love, and boundless joy. Namaste.